Cannabis is widely used both recreational and medicinally. However, in recent times, there has been increasing interest in the use of cannabis from both a recovery and performance perspectives. This paper by Burr and colleagues reviews literature that currently describes the effects of cannabis and its constituents on recovery and athletic performance. The most abundant constituents of cannabis are delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. However, within athletic domains, the potential benefits of either still actually remain largely uninvestigated. Cannabis has been noted as the largest consumed recreational substance after alcohol, and subsequently, over the last few years, cannabis has seen a shift with the declassification or legal status for recreational and medicinal use. However, cannabis is still prohibited by the World Anti-Doping Association. At present, according to WADA, cannabis is in contravention of at least 2 of the 3 tenets of acceptable use, in that it has potential to enhance sport performance and represents a risk to athletes and violates the spirit of sport. A recent meta-analysis of 11 studies and 46,000 participants revealed that approximately 23% of athletes have used cannabis in the past year. Whilst cannabis plants contain over 100 specific molecules, known as phytocannabinoids, the 2 most widely studied are THC and CBD. However, in this review article, the author's main interest was that of whole cannabis, THC, CBD, and the associated physiological effects for consumption for exercise performance and recovery. THC has been noted for its psychotropic effects. On the other hand, though, CBD does not produce these psychotropic effects associated with THC. Furthermore, both CBD and THC produce different physiological effects which may alter exercise performance or recovery in athletes. Considering quite vast empirical data on many other performance-enhancing supplements, the evidence for cannabis and THC as a performance enhancer is sparse. One issue that the authors have identified is the study designs in which the effects of cannabis and THC have been investigated for their role in human exercise capacity and performance. The authors continue that even in the presence of cannabis and THC, an athlete's perception and motivation will affect performance and can't be ruled out as factors for increased performance. However, this hasn't been investigated yet. CBD was removed from the WADA banned list in 2018 and its use in sport. It's been reviewed extensively as it's been purported to have benefits for recovery and athletic performance. As sleep is an important factor in athletic recovery, it has been proposed that CBD may improve sleep quality and/or quantity. Primarily, the authors note that many of the studies surrounding CBD and sleep have been limited to those with conditions such as post-traumatic stress syndrome or Parkinson's disease. While CBD does show some promise for sleep, well-designed randomised controlled trials in athletes are needed to try and understand the benefits, if any, for sleep and subsequent recovery in athletes. The authors also examined the literature around CBD for pain, inflammation and muscle function. While previous work has suggested that 26% of rugby players have experimented with CBD, and another study suggested about 80% of rugby players interviewed cited pain management as a reason for CBD use. The authors do note that due to some of the legislation around CBD, it can be difficult to study in vivo compared to other widely available supplements. While there is good evidence surrounding the effect of cannabis and cannabinoids on human physiology, the evidence for recovery and athletic performance is still quite low. This may be due down to some of the previously mentioned barriers to the subsequent research in this area. Therefore, appropriate empirical evidence regarding the effects of cannabis use on sport performance is lacking. The authors suggested that well-controlled studies specific to the athletic populations and using performance outcomes to determine the effects of both short and long-term effects of cannabis and THC on human performance. The authors also note that CBD has shown some promise for helping athletes with recovery by improving sleep quality, pain and mild traumatic brain injury. However, THC and cannabis are still banned by WADA. As recent evidence has suggested, some CBD supplements have contained THC, and this could unknowingly lead to a doping violation for the athlete and subsequent banning from competition.